Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in deep valleys, there lived a young man named Peter. Peter was known for his restless and disturbed mind all over his village, always buzzing with unnecessary thoughts and worries. He found it difficult to find peace within himself, and this inner turmoil affected his every aspect of life. Peter wanted to get rid of his plaguing thoughts that were not letting him live peacefully. Peter longed for a way to empty his mind, to find serenity amidst the chaos of his thoughts. One day, Peter heard about a wise old Zen monk from some people in his village. The old monk resided in a secluded temple at the top of a nearby mountain. The monk was renowned for his deep and profound knowledge and wisdom, and his ability to guide others on their spiritual journeys. Motivated by the stories he had heard about the Zen master, Peter decided to seek out the Zen master to resolve his problems and learn the secrets of emptying his mind. The journey to the temple of the Zen master was arduous, with steep and winding paths that seemed to go on forever. However, Peter's determination propelled him forward. After days of rigorous journey, he finally reached the temple where the old monk used to live. When Peter reached there, he was greeted by the serene presence of the old monk. Peter went near the monk and bowed before him respectfully and said, "Sir, I have come to seek your guidance and advice. I wish to empty my mind and want to find peace within myself. Can you teach me how I can do it?" Hearing this, the old monk smiled knowingly and gestured for Peter to sit near him. The Zen master said gently, "Peter, my child, emptying the mind, which is filled with many unwanted and troubling thoughts, is not a task to be accomplished with force or haste. It is a gradual process that requires patience, discipline, and self-reflection. Are you willing and prepared to embark on this journey?" Peter nodded eagerly, now his heart filled with hope. And so, under the guidance of the old Zen master, Peter started his training on the path of salvation. The first lesson the monk taught Peter was the art of mindfulness. He directed Peter to sit quietly by a flowing stream of water and observe the water without any judgment or analysis. In the beginning, Peter found it difficult to keep his mind from wandering, but with practice, he began to notice the complex patterns of the water, the way it flowed effortlessly over the rocks and around the obstacles. As Peter started his practice of mindfulness, he realized that the thoughts in his mind were like the rushing currents of the stream. They came and went back, sometimes gentle and calm, and other times turbulent and chaotic. He learned to observe his thoughts without getting caught up in them, simply allowing them to pass through his awareness like leaves floating down the stream. The second important lesson the old monk taught Peter was the art of letting go. They climbed to the top of the mountain, where the monk led Peter to a beautiful garden filled with beautiful and vibrant flowers and lush greenery. In the center of the garden stood a magnificent cherry blossom tree, its branches swaying gently in the breeze. By observing the tree, the wise monk instructed Peter, "Notice how it stands tall and proud. Even then it remains flexible and bends with the winds. Learn from the tree and practice the art of letting go. If you become the master of the art of letting go, there is nothing in this world that can destroy the peace of your mind. There will be nothing in this universe that can trouble you." Peter watched as the cherry blossom tree gracefully surrendered its blossoms to the wind, releasing them one by one. He realized within himself that holding on to thoughts and attachments only caused suffering and prevented him from finding inner peace. With each falling blossom, Peter felt a sense of release, as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. Now Peter had come to understand why he had been so restless. As Peter continued his training, he encountered many challenges along the way. Sometimes his mind would become overwhelmed with worries and fears, but the old monk always offered him gentle guidance and reminders to return to the present moment. One day, as Peter sat down to do meditation, a powerful storm swept through the mountains. The thunderstorm and the rain poured down relentlessly. Peter felt a sense of panic arising within himself, and his mind became a whirlwind of fear and anxiety. Quickly, he rushed to the old monk, seeking solace and guidance. The old monk welcomed Peter with a calm smile, unmoved by the storm raging outside. He motioned for Peter to join him in the meditation hall and instructed him to sit calmly despite the tumultuous conditions around them. As Peter closed his eyes and focused on his breath, the old monk began to speak softly. His words carried the weight of profound wisdom. He said to Peter, "My child, embrace the storm within you just like nature embraces the storm that passes through." The old man said, "Observe the tempest of thoughts and emotions without any resistance, without any judgment. Allow them to arise and subside like the passing storm." Peter absorbed the monk's words and slowly realized that the key to emptying his mind was not to suppress or escape his thoughts, but to acknowledge and accept them fully. He understood that true peace could only be found by being present in the middle of the storm, within and without. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Peter diligently practiced the teachings of the old Zen monk. He found solace and inner peace in the simplicity of each moment, the subtle beauty of blooming flowers, the gentle whispers of the wind, and the stillness of his own breath. In the course of time, Peter's mind became more spacious and peaceful. Gradually, the constant chatter of worries and doubts reduced and was replaced by a deep sense of inner calm. One day, as Peter sat in meditation, his mind was clear and his heart was light. The old monk approached him with a beautiful and serene smile and said, "Peter, you have come a long way on your journey, but always remember one thing. The true essence of emptiness lies not in the absence of thoughts, but in the mindfulness that is beyond them. It is in the stillness that lies beneath the turbulence." Peter nodded, his eyes filled with grace, gratitude, and understanding. He had learned that emptying the mind did not mean erasing thoughts altogether, but cultivating a deep presence and spaciousness that allowed thoughts to arise and dissolve naturally, without any attachment or resistance. As Peter bid farewell to the old Zen monk and began his descent from the mountain, he carried with him the wisdom and practice he had learned from the Zen master. He knew that the path of emptying the mind was not a destination, but a lifelong journey. After returning to his village, Peter became a source of inspiration for the people of his village. Now everyone would come to him to seek his guidance for their respective sufferings. People who sought solace and clarity in their lives started coming to him. In return, Peter shared his teachings of mindfulness, letting go, and embracing the storm within, guiding them on their path of self-discovery. Years passed, and Peter's name spread far and wide. People from distant lands started coming to him in search of his guidance, and he humbly shared his wisdom, always reminding them that the true power lay within themselves. In the twilight of his life, as Peter sat under the cherry blossom tree, he reflected on his journey. He realized that the key to emptying the mind, filled with many bothering, troubling thoughts, was not found solely in the teachings of the old monk, but in his own unflinching commitment and willingness to explore the depths of his being. With a serene smile, Peter closed his eyes, feeling the gentle caress of the wind and the blossoms falling around him. In that moment, he knew that the journey to empty the mind was a continuous dance with life, a dance of surrender, acceptance, and profound inner peace. And so the story of Peter, a restless and troubled man who overcame his mind and became a beacon of serenity, spread throughout the world. It reminded all who heard it that within the depths of their own minds, they too possessed the power to clear away their uncalled for thoughts and discover the boundless peace and energy that reside within.